Good evening, everyone. We begin with continuing coverage on a bus crash in rural Leonard in Cass County, which we told you about on Friday.
It's been 3 days now. The Cass County Sheriff's Office still doesn't know what caused that bus with 7 students on board to crash. And 2 of those students we know were thrown from the bus, though officials say they are expected to be okay.
The ordeal, though, could leave a lasting impact on the students. Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor explains how parents can help their kids deal with trauma.
Last Friday, an Enderlin school bus loaded with students crashed through a guardrail and went over an embankment before landing in the Maple River. And something so traumatic could really leave a child feeling uneasy.
It was probably very scary. Their brain might have felt overwhelmed by what was happening.
Experiencing this kind of ordeal could also influence a child to avoid the situation entirely, including not wanting to ride a bus in the future.
Anytime we experience something that negative and that profound, we could see that a child would be trying to avoid that situation so that it didn't happen to them again.
But what should parents look for if they feel their child is struggling with this kind of trauma?
I would say if a child's withdrawing from their family, friends, from their daily activities, if they seem to be a little bit more irritable, having difficulty sleeping, having difficulty doing the things that they normally enjoy.
Mental health experts say this is how you can help your child handle those struggles.
Always let your child take the lead because you don't necessarily know what they're thinking about or how they're processing it. So just waiting for your child to ask you questions, helping your child focus back on the here and now, what's currently taking place, helping them understand that today can be a good day and the days going forward can be good days as well, and those events aren't going to be happening every day.
In Fargo, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
Experts also recommend having your child participate in activities that they enjoy to help change their focus.
By the way, the driver, who was also hurt during that crash, has so far not been ticketed. More